Do you think that the Muslim Students Union is religiously motivated towards Islamic anti-Semitism, and they're manifesting it as anti-Zionism?
I think that's a question you have to ask them. They say that is not the case, that they're only anti-Zionist, they're clearly anti-Zionist. I don't know how many members they have. I can't, say how each and every person feels or how much they participate. I think that whoever leads the MSU is clearly anti-Zionist, and the Israel-Palestinian conflict is a major part of their interest here on campus.
Are they creating a climate that's uncomfortable for Jews?
They have. I go by the complaints that certain students have made before over the years when the Department of Education was investigating that very complaint here, that many Jewish students had felt harassed or intimidated, especially during these weeks. All right, and so that resulted in the investigation, which I think is, it was originally closed because of a time, it wasn't timely complaint, and they said that the Jewish kids were not protected by religion under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, which now they clearly are because Congress made that decision a few months ago. So, a lot of the Jewish kids just don't get involved in this. They ignore it. They go about their life, and as you see, 99% of the students on this campus have nothing to do with this. Okay, this is this is a good campus.
Is there a Muslim call to prayer over the clock tower PA system?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is there never a Muslim call to prayer even on holidays here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well, they have their Juma prayer on Fridays, which they do that together. I believe over by the Cross Cultural Center.
They pray indoors?
I don't know. I don't know. They do gather for prayer. Our own students, we have Arab students, they have their prayer time. We give them an hour, like from 12 to 1 on Fridays when they have to do their prayers. We give them an excused absence for that. Some of them do it on campus. I think there's an interfaith chapel here on campus, and some of them, I think, go to the local mosque to pray on Fridays. I don't know how the MSU does it, and our students, they're not involved in this. I've almost never seen any of our students participate in any of this stuff, and those that do, I think, just come out of curiosity.
What do you mean, our students?
Our Arab students.
Then who's here doing this?
These are Americans. The MSU, these are American kids.
They're Arab American kids?
Yes, yes.
Muslim Americans?
Yes. They speak with American accents. They may have come here very early, very young, or they were born here. If you listen to them speak, they all speak with American accents. Okay.
You teach students from what countries?
Well,
what Arab countries?
Almost all Saudi Arabia, but also Kuwait and UAE, Qatar. Okay. They're good kids. They're friendly. They don't cause any problems.
They're from Saudi Arabia, which is the homeland of Islam, right?
Well, yes, and this is the country where Islam is applied the strictest, the Wahhabi brand, but,
And you're saying the Saudi students don't participate in this anti-Zionism?
That's correct. I've hardly ever seen any of them come, and the ones I've seen, they may pass by, they stop and look out of curiosity, but I have never seen them actively participate.
Do they participate in the Islamic prayers on campus?
Well, they do their prayers when they have to. They do their prayers, their 1 o'clock prayers, over by our classroom building. They're just an informal gathering, 5 or 6, 10 of them, facing whichever way they got to face, and they do their prayers there. They don't bother anybody.
So why does Israel bother the Arab Americans more than it bothers the Arab Saudis and Gulf states and states who are around there, closer to Jerusalem, their holy city?
Well, we don't get into politics with our students, and what they feel in their hearts, I have no idea. But I don't know if this is true or not. I have a suspicion. You see, our students, our Arab students, are sponsored by their countries, their governments, and their embassies. and they pay for them and they monitor their progress. I would guess that these kids have been told by their embassies here and their consulate, do not get involved in this stuff. I have no empirical evidence for that, but that's my guess.
Do you think that the locals are stirred up by the U.S. Presence of the activist groups like CARE and ISNA and MPAC and maybe Muslim Brotherhood affiliated groups?
Well, I don't know. I think that the public, especially because of what's happened here on campus in the last couple of years since the Irvine event, really woke the public up, especially the Jewish community, that there was a problem on campus. And I think that, yes, there has been an increased interest in this whole thing. That's why you see more people from the community showing up to these things.
But do you believe that this activism here is not as much a part of global Islam, but probably the political Islamic groups in America?
I think this is part of an overall well-organized effort internationally to discredit Israel, delegitimize Israel, support the boycott, sanctions, and divestment from Israel.
And create a greater sympathy and empathy for Muslims and Islam in America?
Well, the focus here has not been on Muslims in America and their situation. The focus
to promote Palestinian victimhood?
Yeah.
To promote Muslim victimhood?
Well, mostly I would say that's centered on the Palestinian issue. That is the main theme of these events, is Palestine.
And not Palestinian Christians.
Well, they're involved with the international solidarity movement. Okay, George Rishmawi and these people. He came here to speak. The Olive Tree Initiative goes over there. They meet with Rishmawi and these people. Rishmawi was a co-founder of the international solidarity movement. That's one of the main controversies over the Olive Tree Initiative, that these kids are being exposed in the West Bank to experience older activists and coming back maybe not as supportive as Israel. So the question is, should the Jewish community still support this financially?
Is it possible that the Muslim activist groups are using this to bolster their support from liberal Americans?
Well, I think there's, let's say this. I think, and I'm speaking overall here, I think there's a definite connection between the Muslim activists, we'll say, not Muslim people, I'm talking about the Muslim activists, and the far left. The far left. Definite link.
Communism and Marxism?
Well, the ones who used to be. When 12 years ago or whenever, 15 years ago, when communists supposedly disappeared, right? Where did they all go? Okay, well, they've gone to the environmentalists and other socialists and things like this. Okay, international solidarity movement, they've latched onto that. The freedom flotillas.